Gloria Deo Academy is a special place, but it's more than the building, the classrooms, and the desks. It's even more than the administration, the staff, and our rigorous curriculum. Gloria Deo Academy is you, the parents and the students. You challenge the status quo. You fight to give your children the best education possible, and you sacrifice day after day to support their efforts.
Well, we came from public school, and honestly, we loved public school. They were doing well, but we wanted them to be in a Christ-centered environment where their teachers were following Jesus and teaching them about Jesus, and we wanted to grow their faith.
Prior to GDA, I had been in public school up until 6th grade, and then I had been homeschooled for 7th and 8th. And my mom really just wanted something more for us, some more structure. She wanted something that was going to allow us to still get that Christian influence, but also just really challenge us with academics.
I work 12-hour shifts, and I wouldn't see my kids because I work weekends and I work holidays, and so I wouldn't see them as much, even if I had wanted to put them in public school. So it was an option for me. I wanted to homeschool, but I needed something more structured.
We have 3 boys, Jack, Ryan, and Eric. My greatest mission in life is to teach them to love Jesus and follow him. It's a lost world, and I tell my kids all the time, the world is worldly, but we're called to be godly, and that changes the way you live.
When I first came in, I was in 9th grade, so I had no idea what I wanted to do. It was a new high school, and I was just trying to figure everything out. I had Dr. Cooper, and he challenged me more than any other teacher that I had ever had. My personality is very type A, very organized, and I was like, that kind of fits in with law.
Going into his first grade year with Grayson, he was going to be 7 in the spring. And with Missouri rules, you have to start, documenting hours, and I was really worried. The administrative side of it was overwhelming me with everything else I had to do. I felt confident I could teach him, but as far as was I hitting all the marks? Was I going to have everything? That was the part that was a little bit stressful and I was unsure of.
And I felt like my kids spent so much time at school that I really wanted their mentors to be grounded and be able to be vocal about their faith. I feel like you are who you hang out with, so the more Christian mentors I could put into my children's life, the more likely they were to become more like Jesus.
I had been in criminal justice degree since 10th grade, and I wanted to work with kids. And I wanted to be a lawyer in the juvenile system. Now, eventually, that calling to work with kids and to be there for kids changed and morphed from I'm going to be their defense in a legal form to I'm going to be their defense in the classroom. And I'm going to start, advocating for them in their education. I prayed about it, and I was like, I need to switch to education.
I was also completely overwhelmed with the idea that I might not have enough. I might not be enough for my kid, right? There might be gaps. I might not give him everything he needs to be well prepared to be everything he needed to be.
We honor your commitment to fight for and pursue the calling God has for you and your children. Since Gloria Deo Academy was founded in 2005, we've seen God's faithfulness at work. Just this year, God has helped us complete phase 1 of our facility renovations, expand classrooms and prepare to install an elevator, and lay the groundwork for significant renovations. Let's take a moment to remember what we're all about. We're training students to think critically and creatively about life. We're equipping them to navigate the future. We're guiding them to pursue God's calling on their life through service, leadership, and character.
I noticed that they were more confident, honestly. They were happy. They would come home excited. Their faith was growing. Their friendships were growing, and they were friendships that I wanted to help them build.
Your calling can change. And when your calling does change, you got to be open to it. And I really felt God was calling me to kids in just a different way. And I was like, you know what? That fits me more. It fits me in the way that I can talk to parents, in the way that I can advocate for kids in their education and really individualize their care.
I didn't really have any idea that there was something like this, like Gloria Deo, that there was a hybrid school out there where you would have so much support to do the thing you really wanted to do. I feel like I am homeschooling with this huge support system behind me.
When my oldest was 11, my best friend said, "Hey, I'm going to Africa. and we're going to visit an orphanage. And so Jack prayed about it and came up with the idea that he was supposed to write a sermon. So he wrote a sermon and shared it all across the country.
It was kind of awe-inspiring, like to see what God could do through me, because I didn't really think I could do that much at being as young as I was compared to all the other people there. But it was really cool just to see how it affected them and stuff like that. I learned that God drops opportunities in every one of our laps, and that we are called to step into those and do exactly what He asks.
Brian wasn't able to go, and that broke my heart. I thought that it might set him backwards, but it really lit a fire under him. At church on a Wednesday night, and saw a friend of his upset, and he asked her what was wrong,
and she said that her grandpa hadn't given his life to Jesus yet. So I asked for his phone number, and then I called him, led him through the sinner's prayer. He thanked me for giving his life a purpose.
The growth in the last year has been tremendous, and I know it's because everyone around him is pouring into him spiritually.
GDA, all the skills that they have taught us here at the school, feel like it gives us confidence, and they've really well prepared us to go and share what the Lord has called us to do.
I got the support I needed to make me feel confident that I was doing the right thing, that I could do it. Coming here and being at this school has been an answer to my prayers.
I would say that GDA just prepared me in that way to follow my calling, even when it was incredibly scary and incredibly frightening to switch a semester before I was about to graduate. Being back here and teaching, ultimately I know I made the right decision, and it's been the best decision that I've ever made.
There's nothing better than finding an environment to pursue God's call. The only problem is we're out of physical space, and that limits how deeply your students can grow. We believe nothing should stand between your students and God's call on their lives. And we believe renovated facilities will give our students the environment they need to pursue their God-given calling. So here's how the next phase of expansion is going to work. First, we need to raise $3.8 million to continue renovating our facilities. We've already been awarded a $420,000 grant, so we're well on our way. Second, we'll build the upstairs classrooms, science labs, and remodel our gymnasium into a multi-purpose sports gym capable of musical and theatrical performances. And then we'll watch our students flourish with nothing holding them back from pursuing their God-given calling. The challenges we face today require hearts open to exploring God's plan. We have the opportunity to unlock that potential and create an environment for God's calling to be discovered and pursued without barriers. Tonight, we're not just helping renovate a building, we're planning for the next generation. We're removing any obstacles that stand between our children and God's calling on their lives. We're preparing them to impact their communities for the glory of God through service, leadership, and character. Imagine the impact your students can have on their community. Imagine the influence they can have through their work in engineering, the arts, scientific research, business, and social enterprise. Imagine giving your students the opportunity to chase the calling God has for them. So join us as we partner with God in helping our students find and pursue their calling.